Fusion Mobile, quality e-learning experience on the go.
Parental responsibility. The irresponsible behavior of the sons of Eli and Samuel. The sons of Eli. The two sons of Eli, Hophni and Phinehas, assisted their father. However, the two young men had no regard for the Lord. Eli's sons' worthlessness distilled into greed and sexual immorality. Their greed and sexual immorality stemmed from selfishness. Their arrogance and assertiveness resulted in contempt for God's offering. This led to a life not oriented towards God's kingdom and true human values in society. When Eli heard of the immoral acts of his sons, he protested and warned them that their sins were unforgivable. Eli gave oral protest against his sons' misconduct, but they did not listen to their father. Because Eli did nothing practical to prevent a repeat of the sons' sins, he had a share in the punishments meant for his sons. The sharing in the sons' sins springs from his failure to caution his sons accordingly. The sons of Samuel. The sons of Samuel, Joel and Abijah, succeeded their father as judges. In spite of their father's good and past records, these men were corrupt judges, and they perverted justice. As each individual sin has social dimension, these men's corrupt lives moved the elders to consult Samuel, who was then an old man. Though his sons were corrupt, he was not accused of having share in it, much as he was aggrieved that his sons had failed him and that the elders had reacted negatively. Samuel consulted the Lord. It was the Lord who approved of the entrance of monarchy into Israel, while the sons were removed for their crimes. God knew the implications of monarchy, yet he could not ignore the weakness and haphazardness that existed then in Israel's leadership. God's pronouncement of judgment on Eli and his sons. According to 1 Samuel 2 verse 31, God said that he would cut off Eli's arms and the arm of his father's house, that there would not be an old man in his house. Then from verse 31 through to verse 36, God also said that anyone who he will not cut off from God's altar, that is his altar, shall be to consume his eyes and to grieve his heart, that is Eli's heart and eyes, and that all the increase of his house shall die in the flower of their age. God also said to Eli that his two sons, Hophni and Phinehas, shall die in one day, and it shall be a sign unto him. God then said that he will raise for himself a faithful priest that will do according to that which is in his heart, that is God's heart and mind, and he will build him a sure house, and he shall walk before him, before his anointed forever. And it shall come to pass that anyone that will be left in Eli's house shall come and crouch to the faithful priest for a piece of silver and a morsel of bread, and the person shall say, Put me, I pray thee, into one of the priest's office, that I may eat a piece of bread. The fulfillment of God's judgment on Eli and his family. This can be found in 1 Samuel 4 verse 12 through to 22. The ark of God was taken, and the two sons of Eli, Hophni and Phinehas, were slain. That is, they died on the same day, just as God promised Eli. Eli was 98 years old, and his eyes were dim, that he could not see. When Eli heard that his two sons, Hophni and Phinehas, had died, and that the ark of God was taken, Eli fell from the seat backward by the side of the gate. His neck broke, and he died. His daughter-in-law, that's Phinehas' wife, who was heavy with child, was also told about the death of her husband Phinehas and her father-in-law Eli, and that the ark of God had been taken. Upon hearing the news, she travailed, and her pains came upon her. Before she died, she bore a son, and named him Ichabod, saying, The glory is departed from Israel, because the ark of God was taken, and because of her father-in-law and her husband.